And I think like I was trying to look for one of a kind, to play that as well, alongside a yo-yo. But I don't know what's wrong with that song. It wasn't active. But we'll make it active very soon. So you can listen to yo-yo and listen to, for me, one of Ja Wonder's best songs ever. I don't know even if you do another one tomorrow if I fall in love, but one of a kind is one song from Ja Wonder I fell in love. I know yo-yo, I think he's winning my heart already. But let's leave songs aside. Let's talk about entrepreneurship, where we get to make money, where we get to talk about businesses. And of course, 97.5 Golden FM. We'll do that every Saturday morning. Today, we're talking about how to get the right team, the right staff for your businesses. Because some staff, sometimes, you probably regret ever even employing them if you don't do the right thing. All right, Ari Pobini is in the studio, and of course, the next voice you will be listening to will be Ari on Entrepreneurship Hour, half hour rather, not hour, half hour on Golden FM. Don't go anywhere.
Good morning, listeners, ladies, gentlemen, everyone out there. My name is Harry Pobini. I am a business strategist, I'm a HR professional, I'm a technologist, and this morning we want to talk about how to determine the right staff for your team and business. This is something businesses struggle on a daily basis for. And because this is a space I also function in every day, I have a bit of first-hand experience as to the challenges businesses face. And this is not one-sided. While a lot of business owners are quick to complain and blame the employees for all of the things they blame them for, I also think that the business owners have their part of the blames to bear. And this morning we want to talk about how to pick the right staff for your team or for your business. The right staff is not necessarily that person with an impressive certificate, with an impressive outward personality, someone who has a very good command of the English language, or someone with a pretty face, or someone well dressed. That's not it. And for the large part, that's where a lot of business owners make that mistake. They just look at someone on the surface and assume, okay, he's tall, he's handsome, he dresses very well, he would make for a good staff. And then when this person joins your team, you realize that this person doesn't quite fit in. And so the question is, how can we, beyond all of this outward aesthetics, how can we identify people who we would call the right fit for our team, for our business? So I will just use an illustration that would make it very easy for us to understand. But before I do that, let me stress out something. You can't build something on nothing. A lot of the businesses do not have a strategy for employment. A lot of the businesses do not have a policy for employment. There is no standard procedure for how they want to employ. And so today they are doing it this way, tomorrow they are doing it the other way. There is no standard procedure for how they want to employ. Now, you could be, for example, you could be in the hospitality space. Business A needs a secretary. Business B needs a secretary. They are both in the hospitality space, but their individual needs for secretaries differ. So if you want to employ a secretary, you will employ a secretary based on what your own peculiar needs are, not for what the other person is employing. Now, a lot of the businesses also do not have what we call business culture defined. A particular way we do what we do, how we do what we do. A lot of the businesses do not have this defined. And so, if you do not have a defined business culture, you also do not even know what you need. You don't know who you need. You don't know where, when, and how you need the person. So everybody who comes is okay. Somebody walks up to your establishment to say, "Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma. I am in need of a job. What can you do? I have worked as a secretary before. One time I worked as a receptionist. I've also worked as a bar attendant. Where do you live?" The person tells you where they live. Say, "Okay. Can you resume tomorrow?" The person says yes. And that's that. You have employed the person. The person works for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, as the case may be, and just wake up one day and stops coming to work. And as usual, they just send you a text message to say, "I'm no longer interested in the job and I'm gone." If you as a business have a proper structure for recruitment, you will skip all of these disappointments. If you have what is called business culture, you have defined your own business culture. You can tell during your interview screening phases, you can tell who would fit into your business culture. Let's say your business is one that requires patience from your staff towards customers. You will be looking out for someone who naturally has patience. But you see, these things, because they are not defined, even the business owner does not really know what he or she is looking for, except for what they can see on the outside. And so somebody walks up to them checking all the physical boxes, and the person works for them. If you are dealing with people that requires you to be patient, it also means that you're looking for someone who has empathy, someone who is emotionally intelligent, someone who communicates very well. And so these are things you look out for. Now, how you're able to get them out of the people who come to you, that is a different conversation. But first, as a business owner, you must define your business culture. You must be able to determine for yourself what it is your business wants to achieve, what it is your business does, how your business does what it does. For some businesses, the same thing your staff does sitting down. For some businesses, their staff do that same thing standing. So if you do not define your own culture and someone comes from another environment where they stand or sit doing that thing, and they join your own business, they are bound to rebel. Because how they do it from where they are coming from is entirely different from how it is done where you are. Orientation, induction, training before including people into your existing staff, that's a conversation for another day. But how do you tell a staff that would fit into your team? How can you determine staff that would work properly for your business? I would propose the SWOT analysis. It's a very basic tool. SWOT analysis. SWOT is an acronym for strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Before you put an ad out there to call for applicants, ask yourself the first question. I have an existing team. What is the weakness of this team that I want to improve on? Let's assume you have 3 staff, and none of these 3 staff can manage your social media presence. And social media is one aspect of your business that is lacking behind. If you have to bring a 4th staff, that 4th staff should be able to make up for the deficiencies of the existing 3 staff. So the 4th staff should be someone who is conversant with social media management or knows how to use the social media properly. Should be someone that is digitally literate, someone that knows how to use AI tools, digital tools, and all of that, depending on what your business does. This is an example. Now, when that fourth person comes in, the fourth person comes in intentionally because there is a flaw, there is a gap in your business that you want to fill through recruitment. And so that person comes in to fill that gap. Whether the person has a first class or a second class is a secondary conversation. Your primary interest is that you're looking for someone who can reduce the deficiencies you already have in your team, someone who can now take charge of your social media, grow your online presence, and help digitize most of your office processes. That's your primary goal for recruitment. Every other thing, whether he or she is a graduate, whether he or she is tall or short, whether he or she is fat or thin, all those are secondary issues. Now, if you make the secondary issues your primary issues, that's where you have problems. That's where you employ misfits. Misfits mismatch. Not that they are misfits generally in the meaning of the word, but they are a misfit for your team. Because the value they have is not what your business needs to grow. It's not what your business needs to achieve its organizational goals. So when you want to employ, the first action is to carry out a SWOT analysis. I want to employ a secretary. Let's look at a PA. I want to employ a personal assistant. The first thing I would do is to do a self-appraisal because I need a PA now. So I want to do a self-appraisal of myself. What are the things I am not doing very well? What are the things I need an assistant for? I will list those things out. Those things that I don't do very well, that I need an assistant for, are the reasons why I now need a PA. So when I list them out, when my ad goes out, let's say I'm not very patient with phone calls, so I need somebody to take my calls. I'm not very patient with typing long text. I need somebody to manage my social media presence. I need somebody to take notes in our meetings and expand them into action plans. When I outline all of these things that I struggle with, they are not strengths for me, they are weaknesses for me. When I outline these things, they will now form the basis of what I need in a PA. So what I need a PA for is not what everybody else needs a PA for. My PA is structured to my own peculiar needs, my own business culture. So when I put my ad out there, it will read PA needed for employment. The person must be proficient in this, and that. And then we now talk about qualification. A minimum of this is acceptable. This and that is acceptable. This and that is an advantage. But what is primary for me is someone who can fix the problems that I have. Someone who can reduce my weaknesses and turn them to strength. That is what I will do if I needed a PA. So let's take this illustration and then cut it across whatever it is you want to do. You want to employ marketers. What do you need marketers to achieve? You want to employ a manager for your company. At the current state of your company, what is the SWOT analysis of the company? What are the areas where the company is doing very well? What are the areas where the company is doing terribly? What are the opportunities out there for your company? What are the threats that your company needs to avoid? When you outline these things and then you need a manager, you would know what skill sets you require for a manager that will run your business. Because as the owner, you already know what your own flaws are. Some business owners, some company owners are starters. They are not finishers. They are not good managers. They know how to start. I have friends who can think you 10 business ideas every day for the next 30 days. They can start it, but they can't finish it. They can't sustain it, but they just have that big reservoir of ideas. whether refined or unrefined, but they almost always have an idea to share. Such people would look for managers who have the capacity to sustain and the capacity to finish. There's a difference between a leader and a manager. You are the vision bearer does not mean that you have to be the one to finish it. You are the vision bearer does not mean you are also the one that will sustain it. There are people who do not have it in them to start. But when you start, they can sustain it, they can finish it. But they do not know how to start. There are people who do not know how to start, they also do not know how to finish. They just know how to sustain the pipeline. They know how to keep operations going. But the next level is not their responsibility. They do not know how to go to the next level. They just know how to be consistent. They just know how to keep the thing happening every day. So as a business, you must know for yourself what exactly you're employing for, who you're employing for. What do you want to achieve with that employment? If you're employing on face value because everybody else is employing, what you get is somebody who also just needs a job as means to an end. When I interview people sometimes, 3, 4, 5 minutes into the interview, I tell them, sorry, you're not suitable for this role. It's not because the person is not qualified, but see, there are key things we are looking for with regards to what that particular client needs. It's not all about qualification. It's not all about polished English. There are some things some clients need, specifics. If that thing is not there, that candidate is not qualified or does not meet the requirement for that role. Some of these things can be taught, yes. Is the client ready to teach it? Yes or no. That determines whether they want to take you and teach you. But at this point, it is important that before you employ into an existing team, say you have 3 waiters in your business, you want to bring in a 4th waiter. You ask yourself, what exactly do I want this additional waiter to achieve for me? What are the existing waiters not doing properly that I want this other waiter to come and make up for? You must be able to define it. You don't just employ because you need to employ. You need a secretary, you need a cashier, you need an accountant, you need an auditor, you need a chef, you need a manager, you need whatever you need. You must first define for yourself what that person's purpose for coming in would be. It is very essential. If not, you keep going around the circle, employing people based on what is written on paper or based on how they look. I wrote this morning on Facebook that getting the right people for your team is both an art and science. There is the art to it, there's the science to it. So it's not just about how people look. It's not just about what is written on paper. You should be able to have a structure that they are coming into. That structure is what helps you to guide that process, whether you're getting the right person or not. So let me do a recap. SWOT analysis. It's easy. You can Google it. SWOT is an acronym for strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Everything your team is doing well is their strength. Everything they are not doing well is their weakness. The things they can take advantage of are opportunities out there. The things that can cripple your team are threats. If you plot a SWOT analysis for your team, the areas where they are lacking behind, that's what will form the employment you want to do. If it's employment for somebody that will work with you, you do the SWOT on yourself and then employ based on your weaknesses. You don't need somebody coming to do what you already know how to do. You need somebody to come and do well the things you do not know how to do. And then if you're also a freelancer, you are a creative, you're trying to build a team, because I get these questions a lot when I go to conferences. How do I build a team? How do I build a good team? For you to build a team, you must first carry out a SWOT analysis on yourself. and then carry out a SWOT analysis on the business, and then use the weaknesses from yourself and the business to determine the kind of people you want as teammates, so that all of you are bringing to the table are your strengths. You're complementing each other to help the business grow. But when 2-3 people in the same team know how to do the same thing and share more weaknesses, you are bound to keep employing more people. Sometimes why some businesses employ more people is not because they need more people. It's because they have more people with less strength that the business needs and more weaknesses. And because they are also not paying attention to the weaknesses, they keep bringing in more people who suffer the same weaknesses. So the weaknesses keep multiplying, but the strengths are not, because everybody is doing the same thing. Everybody knows how to do the same thing. Nobody is doing the things that the business is suffering for. Listeners, if you must employ, you must set structures. You must have tools that will guide that employment process. To get the right staff for your team, it's not about certification, it's not about how they look. It's about understanding the value they are bringing to your business. So you must first define that value for yourself. And the easiest way to do that is to use the SWOT analysis.
Okay, you will be listening to Ari Pobeni, and of course, he's been telling us on Entrepreneurship Half Hour on Golden FM on how to build a team and how to employ, anyone you want to employ, and so that your business could be fruitful, and that's what your business can grow. Employing a team, because there's no how you set a business that you're not going to have a team to work with. You definitely will have a team to work with, except it's you're selling. Even if you're selling something, sometimes it actually grows. Look at my Igbo brothers. When they start business, they start bringing in people, and of course the team grows. And of course, if they don't have the right boys that will do the things that their businesses need, then voila, good day. All right, I want to say thank you to Ari for coming through for us. Next week, Saturday at 9 o'clock, we'll definitely be on the show again with another beautiful topic. And remember that we stream live on Facebook. So in case you have missed this episode, you're just tuning in, go to the Facebook page of 97.5 Golden FM. And of course, you can get a recap of everything he has spoken about on how to get a team, how to employ somebody on your team to work for you. No be about certificate. Now the certificate. Now be the main thing. I am Michael. They call me Fly Boy. See you next week on Entrepreneurship Hour with Ari. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. 10 o'clock it will be time for the clinic, and the doctors will be here to do justice to what they know how to do best. Meanwhile, listen to the best of music on this side of the Niger on any radio station. 97.5, the gold standard of radio.
Best believe every tune strikes gold. Here on 97.5 Golden FM. Now we are the golden crowd. Other stations got be followers. Golden FM 97.5.
We're giving you a new radio station. You guys play the best music. The best music. A hip new place to listen.
Transmission complete.
Golden FM.
You know how we do.
97.5. Experience the gold standard on Golden FM. You got it. Go. Golden FM.
Yeah.
97.5. From the Niger Delta to the world, we set the standard. 97.5 Golden FM.
Am I the only one that's sitting in this hot seat? Am I the only one that's listening to this heartbeat? Your friends all lie and your enemies cheat. Watching the world drive by.
You might think that you're sitting on the throne, but to me it's just an empty chair. And that's my eyes see clear. Last time I checked, there was nobody there. Took my place without fear. Seems need no square. Because I did for the long ride. I get to push all my feelings go one side. I be real generous so I can cry. I just say that it's alright. And I don't wise, don't reveal my plans so they don't get no warning in advance. Take them by surprise, it's important. If you want your enemy's fate to be in your hands. You might think that you're sitting on a gold mine, but it will soon be revealed. All is not what it seems. Last time I checked, you were living in a dream. Hook you up, showed you what a good friend I've been. What a friend for, if not for inconvenience. Not always there. I pull up when I'm needed. The seeds where you sow, you could reap them. Was in the courtroom, it was me the judge and the jury and some empty chairs. And Uncle T was there, looking at the judge with an empty stare. Prosecution don't care, tryna make the judge give me 70 years. And God show me myself in the heavenly mirror. Never like when my eyes see there. Scheme. If you're poor, you be victim of profiling. If you no be politician and you manage get rich, then go turn you to victim of society. My enemies are no longer on the streets or the roads. Now they're on the internet or the blogs. And I'm sold out shows, looking for empty chairs. Free up and break these chairs. Give up just cause we fail.